Neil Patel at QuickSprout kind of sells content. What he mainly talks about is how to write an SEO, and the entire blog is devoted to this. And so I was struck by one of his articles, which I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to analyse the stuff that he doesn't talk about on this article. The stuff in the article is still good stuff, but let me offer my own opinions on his writing style. Do I just press return?
Yeah, that'll work.
Compared to most blogs and most text you see on a website, this is his style. It's I'll talk about it, but he goes on for that, in that style. And why do I like it? Because, here's a question for you. Does Google index readability? A few years ago, you used to be able to do an advanced search and select articles on the readability levels. It was kind of basic, medium or advanced, I think. And they dropped this feature a couple of years ago. But Google is indexing readability, probably on something like the Flesch-Kincaid metric, which is all about sentence lengths, complicated number of 4-syllable words, and equals the number of years of education you require to understand the article. All right. But it kind of, if it's a low number, it's easy to understand. High number, it's tricky. But that doesn't mean just because you've written it in your article in Baby Talk, it's a good article. If you're writing about quantum physics, you kind of expect an article is more complex, with a higher reading level. But if for a particular keyword, would you rank higher if your article was more readable than the competitors? One doesn't know. I have a suspicion that readability is a factor, because you can stuff up a page by adding lots of bloody legalese to it, and it drops down the rankings rapidly.
Isn't there also another aspect, which is the typography of the page? In other words, if you're faced with a mass of text, you're not that bothered about reading it, you'll find something easy to read.
I'll talk about the typography that...
Because what we saw on that first slide didn't look very attractive.
Let's go... How do I go back on this? Previous.
Left and right arrows.
Yes.
Is it in the serif face?
Sorry?
Is it the serif face?
Yeah, it is a lot of serif.
Yeah, well that doesn't help, does it?
Well, I think the serif's okay, but anyway.
This guy, look, this guy is a gazillionaire. He has made a serious amount of money out of QuickSprout's and some of his other.
And spends a serious amount of money on A/B testing what works as well.
Yes. And this apparently works for him. I agree. I didn't notice the...
That's interesting.
It is a serif font.
Because when you know SEO stuff, everyone says, oh, if it's good for the reader, it'll be Google ranking columns kind of thing. But that, from a readability point of view, does look a bit eek.
No, what you find yourself doing is, this is a...
Well, what's good about that is it's short line lengths, which is very important, and everything's a paragraph. It's actually overdone, there's too much white space there, from a really good design point of view. But the principles it's got right, just the typeface is wrong, and possibly too small, you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that might be the size of the...
It was...
With the projector on.
Yeah,
stream here, so maybe that's.
So you get the whole article up, yeah?
Newspaper is different. Newspaper. Yeah.
Well, this is kind of why I chose the article.
Okay, that looks nice.
Right. All I want to do is scroll down that article.
Right, so it's as you've got it, serif face.
And he's got all these bullet points with a few kind of calls to action.
What's he selling?
His writing, his university, how to write,
Oh, he's selling
his courses.
Courses. Right,
Neil helped us grow to 500 million page views a month. But this guy depends on his content.
Once you click on his blog, you never, ever go away from it. Because he's very good at his social media.
Right. Can we go back to the article? Thanks. But yeah, I don't see articles written in this style, and yet this guy is. So, is readability a ranking factor? Possibly, but is it a big ranking factor or a small ranking factor? Don't know.
But you'll say that from kind of colloquial experience, when you've got an article with lots of long legal words in it, you see it drop down the ranking. So from
Yeah, there were other things going on at the same time, which was a problem. But yeah, I've written it as nice short sentences, fairly clear, fairly simple, present tense, and then 42 word sentences started to creep in. Instead of just having a simple e.g., it was including but not limited to ... with a few examples.
If something's harder to read because you're using more complex language, then other indicators that we will be using, like the amount of time spent on the page, etc., is going to be affected as well.
Yeah.
You might simply decide not to read that article, and Google will choose to lower your ranking because people spend less time on this page, not necessarily because of the complexity of the. So
That's true.
It's a very complex mixture of.
It's another question of if you've got a set of Google search results, you click on one page, open it in another tab, look at it, and then go back to the search results and then click on something else. Because this page was garbage. Does Google measure that?
Yeah.
Some people say yes, some say no. I think Google probably would.
You can certainly scan the QuickSprout page a lot quicker than all these ones.
Well, yeah, and it's a lot. It's 2,000 words. That's a lot of text to write.
But if he's selling courses, once he's got the visitor hooked on the idea that he can provide the course they're looking for, which you would try and do in the first couple of sentences or whatever, then if they're that interested, they're just going to read a whole lot come what may, regardless of almost how bad the typography is. So if you've got all the key selling points earlier on and you're putting the value for money across, whatever else comes into it, people will read long copy. They love long copy. So of course, in theory, long copy full of keywords, and so in theory, Google should actually think it's the most greatest thing since sliced bread. But I still come back to layout is important, and typography and all the rest of it to get you going in the first place.
Agreed. Neil Patel argues that actually people just skim read your articles, dream on, that you've carefully written and selected every word. They just scroll down looking for interesting things.
Well, that's what your subjects can be, which you've got lots of.
Yeah, and with his short 1-2 line sentences, it's really easy just to pick out a few sentences and read a few points and get left with an impression, which for me, when I'm trying to sell lawyers, they're trying to prove their expertise in entrepreneurs relief, enterprise investment scheme, or something like that. No one. You just need to demonstrate you know what you're talking about to get people to call you. But they scroll down, randomly focusing on parts of your explanation. And I think for a lot of product sales or service sales, people kind of skim read, yes, they know what they're talking about, maybe I'll give them a call, see what they're really like.
There's also, of course, the other audience, which is, particularly if you're selling a technical product, business to business, where there's more than one person making a decision. One person may start the whole thing off and they'll say, oh, these people look quite good, have a look at their website. So it goes through the team thing, and then it then has to go up to the finance people to cough up the cash. So you may find people then having to, look at this and get the feeling these are reliable people, and all the other factors. So that whole argument has got to cover a huge range of different people, intellects, interests, and all the other things. So I suspect what he's doing, of course, is selling to one person who's going to fork out $100 or whatever his courses cost. Courses for courses and all that. So if you are selling business to business, it's really complicated. You may have to have a completely different approach. Because it could well be that that visual approach he's got is not putting very technical things.
I agree. If you're selling to a group, a persona, life gets complicated. Then, yes, and I don't. I've got to find an answer. But anyway, he's managed to produce, which few people have, is a 2,000-word article, which is long. Usually, I personally would give up, usually, at least a quarter of the way through a 2,000-word article. But and to get to write in an average of 9-word sentences is really difficult. It's dead easy to produce a sort of 42-word sentence.
One of the problems with the internet is that you're not limited to space. If you have got, say, an A5 4-page leaflet, you're very, very, very restricted to space. And restriction to space is actually one of the world's best editing tools, because you can't have 40-word sentences, you can only have 10-word sentences, and you're forced then to cut out all the crap.
You say that, I see clients with very, very small typefaces.
Oh, to get it all above the fold.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't encourage you to read the stuff.
No, I know. But there's also the first skim problem before they have to scroll.
Yeah.
So it has to be interesting enough they want to scroll.
Does he have any figures for what he actually sells? I mean, he's in the bottom billionaire or whatever, but how successful his product selling is. That's the key to it, isn't it?
It's a huge web. Just go to it. It's a huge website, and I think he is quite well. He is not poor. He is successful.
Good.
So his paragraphs, he's doing things differently. He's doing things in a more extreme version of the way I do them. He's got a subheader every 2 to 4 paragraphs. He's got 2-line paragraphs. He's got 2 to 3 sentences per paragraph of about 10 words each, which stretch out across 2 lines. And his typography, curiously, is 95 characters per line on the samples of lines that I took. And there's a whole body of thought that says you should only have between 40 and 80 characters per line.
That's excluding spaces, so not including spaces. I think it's 40 to 80 excluding spaces, the character. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would put that sort of in that.
Yeah, but even if you've got 5-word, you manage to get 5 character sentences. Oh, I'm sure if my, because I'm on 1920, so it was
Yeah.
kind of the full width. But 1920 is a fairly common screen width.
But you wouldn't want to read all the way across your screen because you get lost.
Yeah.
Oh, true, but 95 is still above this magic 80. Maybe it's 80. If it just squeaks in.
Yeah, I'd have to check that. I think it might be excluding spaces. It looked okay if you went back to the website. It looked reasonable.
Oh, it's readable. I found myself reading the whole damn lot.
I think
Yes, he did it. There are not many pages that do that. Well, no, I was just going, no. But he did. He has a lot of space. It's kind of fairly standard 50-pixel font, at least on my screen. Kind of 1.467 technically line height of the font size, so 22 pixel line height would be fairly standard. But a 24 pixel margin on the bottom.
Bottom of what?
I think that's
On the bottom, on the paragraph
space
bottom.
between the paragraphs, I think.
There's two.
So it's a huge gap between the paragraph.
It's like one line, or more than one line.
It's more than one line. And then there's a whole bunch of people saying, oh, good, as if it was a ruled piece of paper,
Yeah.
an A4 pad. Well, he's breaking these rules. And presumably he knows what he is doing. Maybe we know better. And his subheadings, he's done this well in my view. He's got 3 or 4 words for most of the subheadings. So you can scroll down just looking at the left-hand side, just looking at the subtitles.
Which is good. That's excellent.
Which I'm kind of worried about the subtitles a lot of the time to try and get variants of the main keyword into those subtitles. But he hasn't. He's got one H1 tag and all the subtitles you saw are in H3. I'm kind of hoping for comments here.
It's so big he doesn't really need to worry about SEO. Like if you see he's got a big flyover that comes up when you first visit his page, Google is starting to penalise people for that, he's not worried about that. Yeah, I don't think he has to worry about SEO. He's such a big well-known person. Yeah, he's got so many people on his newsletter. So.
Yeah. All right, but that's, I would argue that's because he writes quite clearly and simply.
It's got H2 tags to roll back to if he needs to bring out the big guns. That's what it is.
So why doesn't he use H2? He doesn't use H3.
Sorry?
Why doesn't he use H2?
Yes, precisely, because theoretically you have one H1 and then the H2 tags kind of get indexed. Maybe he wants, I thought it was because he wanted to focus all his indexing on the one H1 tag.
He's probably not even thinking about it and he's actually just doing it for the size. So H3 is the size that he wants that subhead to be, so he's H3 tag.
Well, you can make the H3 any size he wants in the CSS.
Yeah, but he's not a developer. He'd have to get someone to do that for him probably.
Default H6
I
was
think it. Well, my view is that he's so big and so successful, he's rich enough.
He's probably not writing them himself anyway.
Yeah.
It might be that you get some things right and some things not right. But if it's well written, that's the most important thing.
I think it raises the question of what was right.
Yeah. I think if stuff's well written and it's interesting and people want to read it, and that's the first thing. And then it needs to be readable. It needs to be black text on white background, probably.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Which
Can I analyse that for some of these texts?
it was 343434. It's kind of a sort of blackish colour without being too black.
And that in colour?
I'm looking at Adam. Can have another. I thought it was white. Pretty
Right to me, I'm colourblind.
Yeah.
We got it from it.
Yeah, sites do seem to go for sort of slightly grey type. I always think that black type is pretty good.
Well,
It's the clearest.
there is some kind of argument about this, that too much contrast between pure black and white is not good, and you need a bit of grey in there as the background, just to tone it down. I think a toned down background with black type is probably the most easy to read. I mean, once you start getting grey type, where do you stop?
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what I mean.
some people too grey.
The white.
Yeah,
White
000
Yes.
I think too black, and it's kind of the
Well,
222,
but if it's
333.
343, whatever grey
Yeah.
background, then you should get the best of all worlds. The important thing is it's very easy to read. Nothing else matters. It's easy to read.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, this is where I'm going on this, and I haven't seen many other people writing in this style. In terms of sentences, they're short. He sneaks in some triplicates, a skill you can develop and you can refine, improve if you kind of have three verbs, but that's just speaking, writing.
That's the classic way of doing it. All people have a comma before the end. You do it American, can't you? It's a bloody comma before the end.
Yeah.
There's probably thousands of unwanted initial capital letters everywhere as well. It's still the American failing.
He recommended the Hemingway app. It was like, oh, right, okay, let's try the Hemingway app. So I put in one of the articles I'd edited, and it came out worse and less readable. So I was deeply unimpressed by that. Because, sorry, I wrote it, it's more readable. But is there any tool people are using for kind of writing, readability, page analysis? I know Yoast has something.
Yeah, Yoast is the only thing that we use. Yoast is a copy of Strunk and White, that's all you need, isn't it?
Sorry?
A copy of Strunk and White.
Yeah.
I think sort of English teachers would bridle at the idea of having a computer telling you what's readable and what isn't really. They'd be like, well, you know,
So the best way of checking is to read it out loud.
Yeah.
Because if it reads out loud well, it's okay. Also, it's a great way of finding stupid mistakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But sitting there reading your stuff out loud can be embarrassing. It must be a bit boring.
But I know that when I've done presentations, and I've read the presentation and I have checked it first, and then straight away stop over things and realise I've written this really badly. I can say that.
Read out loud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get my dear clients to have the Matilda test to get her 16-year-old daughter to read it.
We kind of think that the amount of text, billions and billions of words and sentences that Google have got access to, that some sort of analysis there, must turn us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need data. Copyblogger.com.
Sorry?
Copyblogger.com.
Copy?
Copyblogger.
What does that do?
Copyblogger is the same company as Studio Press and Synthesis Hosting. We started off as Copyblogger, content marketing stuff. It's a similar area to QuickSprout's, and their style is very similar to his in terms of the writing. And I think Copyblogger is actually more attractive layout visually, so the typography actually looks more attractive. But basically, it follows the same sorts of short sentences, short paragraphs. Yeah.
But isn't there the classic WordPress blog style, which is set in Helvetica Arial, something like that, decent point size, black on white or grey background, nothing like the stuff that we've seen there.
Default image.
Well, yeah, usually though, for most of the blogs, you just basically get a stream of vomit rather than this.
Well, you don't seems to be learnt from what he's doing there. I'm not sure I could altogether like everything. Certainly from the visual point of view.
I agree, and I'm kind of amazed that he's choosing it. This is the last line. He actually has fairly simple words. They're not particularly complicated, but he is really clear about the meaning for every point that he makes, which is quite an art.